never believed in the supernatural. Yes, they scared me with horror stories as a child. But the older I got, the more I understood that everything has a logical explanation. At least, that's what I thought until I moved here. I searched for housing for a long time. The options were either too expensive, run down, or rented by shady landlords, but this place, an excellent 2-bedroom apartment at a cheap price, almost downtown. The landlady looked nervous when she handed me the keys. The neighbors, they're good people, but if they say something strange, don't pay attention, she mumbled as she left, departing so quickly it was as if she were running away. Even then, this bothered me, but I attributed it all to her personal problems. The neighbors were indeed strange. I tried to be friendly, said hello, asked where the nearest store was, but they responded very dryly, with some kind of tension. And one old man even whispered to me, "Sooner or later, you'll understand too." Understand what? But the strangest thing was something else. They avoided one old woman from the first floor. Every time I passed by her, I had a feeling of wrongness. She sat on a bench by the entrance, motionless like a doll. Her face was too still. The wrinkles seemed frozen. Her eyes didn't blink. But what was frightening was something else. When any of the neighbors came out of the building, the old woman would turn her head in their direction and open her mouth, but wouldn't make a sound. And they would just quicken their pace and pretend she wasn't there. I tried not to pay attention, but the thought of her stuck in my head. And then they told me the main rule. It happened in the stairwell. A neighbor, a thin, pale woman around 40, waited for a moment when no one was around and quietly said, "Don't talk to her, ever." Why? She just shook her head and quickly disappeared behind her door. Fuck. What is this shit? And of course, as soon as I learned about the prohibition, I immediately wanted to break it. The next day when I was returning home, the old woman was sitting on the bench again, but this time, when I passed by, she moved her lips and whispered, "Do you hear them already?" I stopped. What? At that moment, all sounds around disappeared. The hum of cars, people talking, even the wind, everything vanished. And in this dead, deafening silence, I suddenly heard something else. "You did it," came from right behind me. I turned around, sharply. No one. The old woman was smiling, and then all the doors in the building began opening simultaneously. In each apartment, someone stood in the doorway and silently watched me. Some in bathrobes, some in work clothes, old people, children, men, women, and they were all completely still, except for their lips. They moved, but soundlessly. And at that moment, I realized they were all saying the same thing. "You're with us now." I locked myself in, closed all the windows, barricaded the door with furniture, but it doesn't help. They stand there, they wait. And now, I hear them, even through the walls. The old woman is sitting on the bench again. She's looking straight at my window, and I know that if I look too long, I'll see her speak. And this time I'll understand her words.